Hello there, very good evening and welcome to your Primetime News Bulletin. I'm Shane Silva.
And I'm Florine Rajendran. Before going to the stories in detail, here's a look at tonight's headlines.
CID record statement from Gotabaya Rajapaksa. JHU disappointed over police investigations.
අපිට සැකයක් තියෙනවා. දැන් අතවසෙම දැන් මේ ආපහු මේ දූෂිතයෝ මේ අපරාධකාරී එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ මෙගා ඩීල් කරපු අය දැන් ආපහු ඩීල් දාමින් ඉන්නවද?
Student who faints during school assembly dies. Another child alleged to have been sold in Gampola found in Kurunegala. ICC Cricket World Cup to kick off tomorrow.
On to your stories in detail. Now, the Criminal Investigations Department has recorded a statement from former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa in connection to the discovery of a private armoury. Police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rohana said that the CID had visited the house of Gotabaya Rajapaksa this afternoon in order to record the statement.
A media briefing was convened by the Jatika Hill Urumaya today. Speaking at the media briefing, the party's national organizer Nishanta Shri Varna Singh expressed his views on the transparency of the legal procedures underway in relation to parliamentarian Duminda Silva.
I think this is a problem for all the people in the country. In a situation like this, may it be a case relating to drugs, the possession of a firearm or whichever, usually investigations into such matters commence after the suspect or suspects are arrested. So the question that the entire country has right now is, why is this procedure not being followed? No, we are saying that we are discontent about it. We have made a request from the President to appoint a Presidential Investigative Commission to conduct the necessary investigations as soon as possible into the corrupt individuals. Some corrupt politicians are now coming before the people and making a mockery out of it. Some are saying that this is a media facade. Some are saying it is a reality program. Now an illegal floating armory was discovered with nearly 3,000 weapons in it, but the person responsible has fled the country. Now we have reason to believe that these people, these criminals or mega dealers are making deals once again.
මේ අපරාධකාරී එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ මෙගා ඩීල් කරපු අය දැන් ආපහු ඩීල් දාමින් ඉන්නවද?
Speaking at an event in Kolonnawa today, Western Provincial Councillor S.M. Marika said that a mechanism that expedites punishments on perpetrators needs to be implemented.
Western Provincial Council S.M. Marika presided an event to donate shares to the well-amputated Juma Mosque in Kolonnawa today.
There are no white vans today. People are not forcibly evicted from their homes. However, we have our doubts. On the other hand, an environment has been created where politicians who are seated in drug trafficking are taken to the CID and sent on their way through the back door rather than arresting them and recording statements. I believe that this needs to be changed to one that will impose the maximum penalty on the wrongdoers.
Minister of Ports, Shipping and Aviation Arjuna Rantunga says that the Cabinet has decided to conduct a review on the Colombo Port City project. Despite various views being expressed over this project, construction of the Colombo Port City continued today as well.
Construction of the Colombo Port City was underway in this manner this evening. Speaking to reporters yesterday, Acting Cabinet spokesperson Minister Lakshman Kiriella said that the project has been suspended until a proper review on it is carried out. However, previously Cabinet spokesperson Minister Rajitha Senaratne said that the Port City project will continue. In this backdrop, Minister of Ports, Shipping and Aviation Arjuna Rantunga said that a review needs to be carried out to decide as to whether the project should go ahead.
Colombo Port City, but we have taken a decision in the Cabinet to review the entire process and see whether there are any issues with the environment reports we have got. And within next couple of weeks, we will take a decision in the Cabinet whether to go ahead. Even if we go ahead, there are some areas where we need to sit with the investor and try and sort it out. They have given the land freehold, which the country doesn't allow that to happen. There are areas where they have given 99-year lease. The major issue I see, we have got a very small area where the investor has got a bigger area. Everyone will say the investor is the one who is putting money, but it's our own territory and our land. It's mainly depending on the environment report and the review we go through, and after that we take a decision on that.
An area no less than 575 acres is been constructed through land reclamation from the sea.
An environment impact assessment on this project has not been received. There are other issues here as well. We need to study this more.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in a phone call to President Maithripala Sirisena, has said that his government, along with the people of India, are looking forward to the Sri Lankan delegation's official visit to India.
Incidentally, this is President Maithripala Sirisena's first international tour after taking office. President Sirisena will undertake an official 3-day visit to India on Sunday to meet with the Indian President, Prime Minister and political leaders. The President's media unit said that President Sirisena would also take part in religious ceremonies in Bodh Gaya and Tirupati.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Mangala Samaravira called on U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry in Washington. During this meeting, the United States had commenced the plan for immediate political and economic reform drawn up by new President Maithripala Sirisena.
Minister Mangala Samaravira had added at this meeting that the Sri Lankan government also hopes to rebuild ties with the U.S.
Excited about the 100-day plan that the new government has put forward. We wish them well in the days ahead, and we're going to talk today about President Sirisena's thoughts about how to move Sri Lanka away from 30 years of war with the Tamils to a country that is inclusive and prosperous and peaceful.
The relations have been somewhat strained even in the last few years, and my job, I feel, is to ensure that we put back our relations to an irreversible state of excellence in the coming months, and I look forward to working very closely with Secretary of State Kerry and of course with the United States of America. For us, for the new administration, the United States of America is not a threat but a great opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
With reports surfacing that schools are being forced to close as a result of the effects of the Uma Oya Multipurpose Development Project, Newsfirst visited the area today to look into these reports.
This is the Makul Ella Sinhala College. This school, which educates around 120 children today, faces closure. Thereby, the students are being educated at the village temple and at the community hall. Classes from grade 1 to 5 are carried out at the temple, while the other classes are carried out at the community hall. Although the distance between the school and the community hall is mere 500 meters, the distance between the school and the temple is also 1.5 kilometers.
We need to save our village school. Please provide us a school at least in our zone.
We do everything for our children. They are our priority.
It has been close to a month now. Our children have received no education. The Uma Oya has not only hindered the children's education but the entire village.
During a meeting yesterday with representatives of the Uba province, Vasanta Aluvihara, the Deputy Minister of Mahavali Development and Environment, said that until the issues related to the project are looked into, work on the Uma Oya Multipurpose Project will be suspended. Views were also expressed on the project at a meeting that took place at the Naula Samurthi Bank today.
The Uma Oya project is funded by Iran, which is a sum of 529 million rupees. 47% of this sum has already been utilized. However, when you look at the issues in the area, this needs to be stopped and a proper review needs to be carried out. The chairperson of the Environment Authority said that the report into this will be produced in 3 weeks. There were representatives from the Geological Survey and Mines Bureau and the National Building Research Organization too. They all will formulate a report and present it in 3 weeks.
State Minister of Higher Education Professor Rajiv Vijayasinghe says that although Professor Shanika Hirumuregama stepped down from her position as chairperson of the University Grants Commission, she continues to act in the capacity of chairperson. However, the Federation of University Teachers Association, or FUTA, says that Professor Hirumuregama is not suitable to serve as the chairperson of the UGC. Meanwhile, a conflict has arisen as FUTA says that several changes should be made in the administration of universities.
The Federation of University Teachers Association's primary allegation is that the chairperson of the UGC as well as certain university vice-chancellors took part in political activities of former President Mahinda Rajapaksa during the run-up to the presidential election. In that very time frame, several frontline activists of FUTA were actively engaged in the program of creating good governance of current President Maithripala Sirisena. After the presidential election, the Federation of University Teachers Association launched a demonstration campaign demanding that the chairperson of the UGC as well as certain vice-chancellors resign from their positions, alleging that they represented the political activities of Mahinda Rajapaksa.
The Federation of University Teachers Association has taken a very firm decision that it is at no instance ready to see the administration of universities under her leadership.
With this backdrop, Professor Shanika Hirumuregama, via communique, tendered her resignation as chairperson of the UGC. Honorable Kabir Hashim, through a letter last Friday as per an order from the President for us to step down from our position with immediate effect. So, as it was an order from the President himself, we thought that we should respect that order. A minister wrote the letter to us, so we must respect it. So we immediately tendered our resignation to Honorable Minister Kabir Hashim.
ඉක්මනින්ම අපේ අසීමේ ලිපිය ගරු කබීර් හෂීම් ඇමතිතුමාට අපි යොමු කරා.
කබීර් හෂීම් ඇමතිතුමා බලපෑම යටතේ මේව කලේ බලපෑම යටතේ.
Minister Kabir Hashim did this with his own influence, and what he did was wrong without even consulting me. But he refuted these claims. There were influencers from FUTA, so I said that if they succumb to influencers, then that is wrong as well. We have to do the right thing, and it shouldn't be done through influencers, which is why people say that the previous government committed wrongs and that S.V. Dissanayake worked through influencers. The president was influenced, so neither should S.V. Dissanayake nor FUTA succumb to influencers to do the right thing.
We got to know that the minister was not aware of this. Normal procedure is that our letter of appointment and resignation are directed from and to the secretary to the president. The president's secretary is the one who sends us the letter. However, to respect a minister, I tendered in my resignation.
ඇමති කෙනෙක්ට ගරු කරන්න වශයෙන් අපි ඉල්ලා අස්වීම ලිපිය මගේ ලිපියත් මම බාර දුන්නා.
උපකල්පතිවරයා වශයෙන් මට ඉල්ලා අසන කියලා
I'm being pressured to step down from my position as Vice-Chancellor. Irrespective of these pressures exerted, I was appointed via a legal newspaper advertisement followed by extensive meetings and inspections. It is the same procedure followed when appointing professors. We were appointed through a letter issued by the Secretary to the President. So we can only be removed the same way we were appointed, through the Presidential Secretary or under the approval of the President. And the other way is that I must tender my resignation. But there should be justifiable reasons for my resignation.
When making new appointments, we are given a list of names to decide from. As far as I am concerned, even FUTA has given me a list. It is quite wrong, isn't it, that FUTA gives the names that they would like. So Kabir Hashim told me that this list of names are there at the Prime Minister's office. I said that it was wrong. Why is it at the Prime Minister's office? It is the President that makes appointments to the UGC. Moreover, it is wrong to appoint councils based on political reasons. So it might not be right to tell her to stay. So I made a request that she work according to the Act until a new person is appointed. Otherwise I cannot work. As per this Act, the Minister does not have these powers.
We strongly condemn this act. Just a short while ago, I received notice that they are to convene a special meeting on Monday with the participation of Shanika Hirumuregama at a time when the UGC has already been dissolved. This is completely wrong. We see this as an act which completely violates the manner in which the university system has been established. As a faction that has been victimized by the actions of this person, we have the right to demand her resignation as we are not ready to serve under her.
යටතේ කටයුතු කිරීමට අපි සූදානම් නැති බැවින් එතුමියට ඉල්ලා ලෙස මේ ඉල්ලා සිටීමට.
අපි කවුරුත් දන්නවා පුද්ගලයෝ මාරුණාට.
We all know that although people are changed and if the policies are not, we will not find the answers. But the question is now, the government has changed but a circular to on fees are to be implemented in schools. They are to accept private universities. So if the person is changed and if it is the same thing that the person is doing as well, then that is not where the battle should be taken to.
Democratic Party Western Provincial Councillor Susil Kindelpitiya filed a complaint with the Criminal Investigations Department today. The complaint demands that investigations be conducted on recent abductions.
The provincial councillor stated that several families in Colombo had visited him and allayed their grievances pertaining to the abduction of family members.
I handed over facts regarding 13 complaints that I received to the Criminal Investigations Department in writing. In this letter, I urged that these investigations be conducted. I stress on one particular point in this letter. Former Minister Mervyn Silva also made a similar complaint with the CID. He presented certain facts as to who is behind the whole white van conspiracy, who is the architect of this, who initiated it, and who should be held responsible. So I quoted the minister and urged the CID in writing that if these disappearances, murders and white van abductions are looked into, they could trace the perpetrators. They could be among this list. So please conduct an investigation into the people behind these crimes and punish them by implementing the law. Bring justice to the families of the victims.
Welcome back to the news. An expectant mother who was seriously injured after falling off a bus gave birth to a child in Kandy today.
The expectant mother boarded a bus plying from Kandy to Hatton in order to attend a medical clinic in Nawalapitiya. Although a sticker is displayed in every bus that a seat is reserved for a pregnant mother, no one in this bus took the time to give her a seat. The result of this was that the expectant mother was thrown off the bus when it took a bend.
The incident took place at around 7:15 this morning. The expectant mother was fallen on the road. I immediately came running and put her into a vehicle that was passing by and rushed her to the hospital. Both the driver and the conductor were not there at the time. They arrived only after the police arrived. The conductor of the bus took the keys and fled the scene.
She was rushed to hospital thereafter. An immediate cesarean surgery was performed and the newborn was admitted to the premature baby unit. The mother is also receiving treatment at the ICU of the same hospital.
The mother is not in a good state. An expectant mother is different to a normal woman.
The police said that the driver and the conductor of the bus were arrested and produced before court and were then released on surety bails of 200,000 rupees each.
As mentioned in your headlines, a female student from Balangoda died this morning after suddenly taking ill. 8-year-old Vasana Sewandi, a grade 3 student, met with this untimely death. She was hospitalized after she had fainted during the morning assembly today. After the victim's mother had gone abroad, it was her stepfather who became her guardian.
The suspect who was arrested for selling his brother's 2 children was remanded until the 26th of this month after being produced before the Gampola Magistrate Court. One of the children who was sold by the suspect was taken under police care yesterday, while the other was discovered today from Kurunagala.
This 2-year-old had been sold for a sum of 5,000 rupees to 2 women from Kirupane, Gampola. This child had been sold on the 29th of December 2014 after an advance of 1,000 rupees was paid to the suspect. The balance 4,000 rupees was paid to the suspect on the 2nd of January this year. The woman had sold one of the children to a couple in Kurunagala. Police say that they have arrested the couple who had bought the child. With the death of the child's mother, the father of the children had handed them over to his brother. He was arrested when he tried to sell the elder child for a sum of 20,000 rupees yesterday. While the suspect was remanded, the 2 children have been admitted to the Gampola hospital.
Today is World Radio Day. To mark this day, the European Broadcasting Union had organized a global broadcast relay. MBC Networks of the Capital Maharaja Organization Limited was selected by the European Broadcasting Union as the Sri Lankan partner in putting together a round-the-clock, round-the-globe broadcasting relay.
The global broadcast relay organized by the EBU to mark World Radio Day commenced at 4 p.m. GMT from the Solomon Islands and is expected to end at 10 p.m. GMT in Guyana. This year's theme is Innovation and Youth in Radio. A trilingual broadcast rally was organized by Sirius FM, YFM, Shakti FM, Yes FM, Legends FM and Newsfirst. This rally, which commenced at 4 a.m. GMT, that is 9:30 a.m. Sri Lanka time, from the Solomon Islands National Radio, handed over the baton of this broadcast relay to the MBC network at 10 a.m. Sri Lankan time. The MBC network alone then devoted 35 minutes of programming in the broadcast relay and handed over the baton to the German broadcaster Arbella.
At Capital Maharaja Organization and the Media Group, and MBC is very proud to partner this event today, the World Radio Day, with the European Broadcasting Union and the UNESCO. And they have recognized our strength as a broadcaster in Sri Lanka to partner, and we are the only exclusive radio in this country to partner on World Radio Day. And this broadcast for MBC provides an opportunity to showcase the uniqueness of our station, the beautiful people in our country, and the rich music that Sri Lanka gives. And today, people of the world heard us. What we would like to say is thank you, EBU, for recognizing us, and thank you to our listeners who had actually brought us to this to go as a worldwide broadcasting today.
Minister of Housing and Samurdhi Sajid Premadasa convened a briefing at the ministry premises today.
මම සතුටින් ප්‍රකාශ කරන්නට කැමතියි නව නිවාස වැඩසටහන හැටියට දින 100ක් ඇතුළත
It is with great happiness that I state that full cabinet approval has been received for the new housing program to assist in the construction of 50,000 houses as part of the 100-day program. We will be giving subsidized housing loans of 100,000 rupees, for which we will be charging only 3.75% of interest. We hope to provide assistance to 50,000 houses. However, after providing this 100,000 rupees, the government will not stand aside and wait until these houses are built. We intend on providing sand, requirement for roofing, cement and all other requirements. We will speak to the respective companies and get these material stocks at a discounted price. And with the discounts we receive from the goods, we will use that as well to help in the construction of houses.
මේ සියල්ලක්ම ලබා දීමේදී අපි ඒ ආයතන වලට කතා කරලා තොග වශයෙන් සෑහෙන වට්ටම් ප්‍රමාණයක් අඩුවීම් ප්‍රමාණයක් ලබාගෙන ඒවයි ප්‍රතිලාභ ඒ නිවසේදී කරගන්නා වූ ප්‍රතිලාභයට ලබා දෙනවා.
Another phase of the program to uplift the nutrition standard of malnourished children in the Mathura district took place today.
The event to present nutritious food packs for malnutrition children in Mathura under the Samadhi Kakulo Suasatha program took place under the auspices of UNTMP Buddhika Pathirana.
We have no problem with what is given to us, and we have no issue with what is not given to us. What is important to us is to build the country. You have seen the sacrifices we made while serving in the opposition. You saw how we worked. If we were able to carry out so much of work while in the opposition, we will use all our strength and be committed to work under this government that we have formed for your future.
Minister of Finance Ravi Karunanayake met with the Ambassador of Germany Jürgen Mohad today.
The meeting was held at the Ministry of Finance in Colombo today.
This is because this is not implementing. Basically, it's not on. It must be here that we have to.
He first commended the fact that we are an open government. He, on behalf of his government, was full of praise towards this, as this is something that couldn't be done before. Moreover, it was evident that certain agreements had been reached and payments were made. The ambassador was pleased that we do not do what the previous government did. So I told the ambassador to give us all these details in writing so that we could present it to the people and show them as to what deals the previous government had come to and subsequently sabotaged. However, what we reiterated was that regardless of what happens, to help the people of this country. So he quite happily accepted this request as to how the Sri Lankan government can help the Sri Lankan people, and said that the matter will be taken up for discussion with the German government and come into discussion with the Sri Lankan government once again. The All Ceylon Peasants Federation says that a price formula needs to be introduced to stabilize the price of rice in accordance with the certified price imposed on paddy. This statement was made at a press conference convened today.
Newsfirst revealed that although the government decided to introduce a certified price of 50 rupees for paddy, as there is no proper program to purchase the harvest, private traders purchase the paddy for a price of 30 rupees. The All Ceylon Peasants Federation emphasized on this at the press conference held today.
අද වෙනකොටත් ආණ්ඩුව පැත්තෙන් වීමලදී ගැනීමට කිසිදු වැඩපිළිවෙලක් දියත් කරලා නැහැ.
A program has not been initiated by the government to purchase the paddy. We expect a harvest of 3.5 million metric tons during this harvesting season. The government will only purchase 200,000 metric tons. That means only 5% of the total harvest will be purchased by the government. That is not enough. The government should at least purchase 1 million metric tons of paddy. It is only then that there will be competition among the middlemen. This will create some form of justice to the farmers as well.
මේකෙදී අතරමැදියටත් යම්කිසි තරඟකාරීත්වයක් එන්නේ ඒ පරිසරය ඇතුළේ ගොවියට යම්කිසි යුක්තියක් සාධාරණත්වයක් ඉෂ්ට වෙන්නේ.
Although the government decided to purchase paddy for 50 rupees, the All Ceylon Peasants Federation says that the government needs to focus on the increase in rice prices.
Farmers sell their produce for 30 or 32 rupees. The consumer is compelled to purchase rice which is sold in the range in the 80s. There is something wrong here. The government needs to intervene here. Actually, they can introduce a price formula. If this is done, the farmers will be protected, the consumers too will be safe, and the small mill owners too will be safe. The government must intervene in this program to protect all these factions.
A seminar titled The Revised Budget 2015 was held in Colombo yesterday. The event was organized by the Sri Lanka Economic Association together with the Department of Economics of the University of Colombo.
Now to start with, can we call this budget of the new Democratic Front government an interim budget? Now what does interim means? Because the concise Oxford Dictionary, interim means intervening or in the meanwhile or temporary. In this sense, I cannot call this budget an interim budget because it covers the whole year from January to December. And reading through the budget contents and the budget arithmetic, I would prefer to call it the revised 2015 budget. That is the 2015 budget presented by the previous government, UPFA government, in November 2014, has been revised or modified so as to mainly accommodate the various revenue and expenditure proposals necessary to fulfill the promises made by the new government before the people at the presidential election.
The panel discussion got underway with participation of prominent economists and bankers.
Pavement vendors in Fort Colombo staged a demonstration opposite the Fort railway station today.
These vendors lament that as the government has informed them to evict from their trade locations, they have been inconvenienced and thereby prompted to stage this demonstration opposite the Fort railway station. These vendors engage in their trade on either side of the Malwat Road and Second Cross Street.
In the places where we did business before, we were able to earn 700 to 800 rupees, but that's no more. They are giving us a space of 4 square feet on Malwat Road. We can't earn 5 cents there.
We request that our original business locations be given back to us.
Although a location had been allocated for them to engage in their trade at Kaiser Street, these vendors charge that it is not a suitable location for trading.
This place is ideal for pickpockets and thieves. This space is like a hen's pen. They have crammed 450 traders here. Have they given this space to us for the sake of giving us a space?
An annual panel discussion under the theme Electrify Transportation, the Step Towards Future was held in Colombo yesterday. The event was organized by the Electrical Engineering Society.
The panel discussion was held under the auspices of Minister of Power and Energy, Partly Champika Ranavaka.
It is my opinion that our higher learning institution should open to the new world of ideas and help to develop new horizons, support great causes, produce new moment of thought and life, and help the spread of freedom, political and economic, religious and social. We need to establish decency, fair play and friendship in a country which has deceptively forgotten them. We must create and develop the forces of spirit which will revive lost hopes and ignored values. We must recognize that mutual hatred is more deadly than mutual violence. We should not be engineers who do our jobs with mechanical efficiency. We wish to endow them with a human outlook, equip them with a vision and purpose.
The event also saw the participation of the Minister of Internal Transport, Ranjit Madhuma Bandara, as well as the former General Manager of the CEB and President of the IESL, Shamidranath Fernando.
New Delhi's Chief Minister-designate Arvind Kejriwal will be sworn in tomorrow with the promise to create a state free of bribery and corruption.
A former employee of the Indian Income Tax Department, 46-year-old Arvind Kejriwal is an individual who became the voice for the India Against Corruption campaign of social activist Anna Hazare. Kejriwal took his first step into active politics in 2013. His party, the Aam Aadmi Party or AAP, contested for the Delhi Legislative Assembly that year and won to govern Delhi for only 49 days as he resigned over the BJP and Congress refusing to support his anti-corruption bill. Although he resigned as a true public representative, he visited every single household in Delhi and apologized to the locals. The AAP said to the people of Delhi that though they had made a mistake, they did not sin. People in Delhi, over 10 million of them, who accepted this honest apology from the AAP, headed by Kejriwal, went to the polls this month. In shock to all other parties, the AAP won 67 of the 70 seats up for grabs in the Delhi Assembly, while the BJP won only 3 seats. Chief Ministerial candidate Kiran Bedi too lost her seat in the elections. This is simply one incident that questions the popularity of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. According to political analysts, this defeat is similar to the defeat suffered in the Battle of Waterloo by Napoleon Bonaparte. Arvind Kejriwal's voice against corruption and bribery and to end the VIP culture not only was grasped by the people of Delhi, but also touched the anti-corruption spring across the whole of South Asia.
The Indian people are frustrated with the BJP government. The BJP is doing the same mistake that the Congress did. Because of the harmful things that is being done, the people despise the BJP and the Congress. The AAP came into the power because of this.
There were a lot of promises which the BJP made coming into the elections April 2014, which not being able to meet, especially the ones on getting black money from bank accounts abroad. There was claim made at that time before the elections that they would bring back and give Indian citizens 15 lakh rupees. Now, they've got a list, they've got the same list which the UPA government had. There's very little that the government seems to have done to bring the money back or crack on black money. Likewise, there's nothing tangible that the people on the ground feel has been done in terms of removing the rampant corruption in everyday life. And that perhaps is one of the reasons why there is disenchantment. That could be one of the big reasons for the result, the way it has come in Delhi.
This is the same with the situation in Sri Lanka. Mass rallies together for good governance and approved it because of the promises made in the run-up to the elections that the law will be implemented to nab persons involved in corruption and fraud. However, sections of the government are also of the view that this process has taken a lethargic approach. If this slow pace continues, the fate that has befallen to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's party and what the BJP did to the Congress at the general elections can take place here at home too. The reason to this is because people who marched for change can rise up for change once again.
The ICC Cricket World Cup 2015 will kick off at 3:30 am tomorrow Sri Lankan time in Christchurch, New Zealand.
The 11th edition of the ICC Cricket World Cup will take place at Melbourne, Australia and Christchurch in New Zealand. Sri Lanka will take on New Zealand in the opening games of the Cricket World Cup. On the same day, Australia will take on rival England in Melbourne. 49 games will be played in 43 days at 14 different venues in New Zealand and Australia, who are incidentally the co-hosts of the tournament. 14 teams will play under the two groups including non-test playing nations Ireland, United Arab Emirates, Scotland and Afghanistan. Sri Lanka, who are ranked 4th in the ICC's ODI ranking, will play in the opener tomorrow and was seen taking part in their final practice session today.
Playing at home always, adds that, bit more pressure. But I think they are a very good team to handle that, and then they'll obviously come and, play positive cricket. So we are expecting a very good challenge from them, and hopefully we can, overcome it.
New Zealand, the home favourite, currently ranked 6th in the ICC's ODI ranking, also took part in their final practice today.
It looks good. Looks like it's pretty well prepared. It should have good pace, good bounce, and it should just be a nice even cricket wicket. So that's what you want in World Cup games with so much on the line. Is you want a wicket which has a bit in it for both parties, and we're going to have an even surface so that the best team.
1966 Cricket World Cup winning captain Arjuna Rantunga shared these thoughts.
The pitch and the weather is different to ours. Playing unfamiliar pitches will not favour us. However, we have a strong and talented team and we have a good captain. This will also be the final tournament for the senior players. There needs to be an interest in the game. If they are really interested, they can win the World Cup. If you take a look at the other teams, there are 5 to 6 teams that are favourites to win the World Cup. We are playing in an open World Cup. Our players need to be mentally prepared and move ahead by rectifying their shortcomings. If we move forward in this manner, we can bring back the Cricket World Cup once again.
ජයග්‍රහණ මානසිකත්වයෙන් ඉස්සරහට ගියොත් අපිට ලෝකසලානයක් නැවතවරක් ජයග්‍රහණය කරන්න පුළුවන් අවස්ථාවක් තියෙනවා.
And that's a wrap of primetime news here at News First. For the News First team, I'm Florine Rajendran.
And I'm Shane Silva. Take care and good night.